Welcome to the official housing market podcast of the Massachusetts Association of Realtors. My name is Eric Berman, and I'm your host and the association's communications director. I am joined today by our 2018 president, Rita Coffey. Rita is the general manager of Century 21 Tellish & Clancy in Weymouth. Hello, Rita. Thank you for joining me today on your first podcast as 2018 MAR president. We will be discussing both the December closed sales number and the year-end housing numbers. So hello, Rita, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Eric.
Okay, Rita, here's my first question. Closed sales were down in December after 2 months of increases in both November and October. Do you have any thoughts?
Actually, traditionally, we do see a slowdown in the number of closed in December because most buyers don't want to be closing around the holidays or moving for that matter. However, despite the drop in closed sales compared to last year, it was a very good month. Looking back historically, this past December was one of the top 3 Decembers in closed sales we have seen. We have been collecting this data since we've been collecting this data. This just highlights how much buyer demand is out there.
Okay, so how are closed sales for the year?
In 2017, there were a total of 56,082 single-family homes and 22,116 condos sold. For single-family homes, sales were technically down compared to 2016, but I'll call it flat as they were only down 0.6%. Total condos sold were up in 2017 almost by 1.5%. It was a strong year for closed sales.
Okay. So now, Rita, what did prices do in December and for the year?
As they have for each month this year, median prices went up again for both single-family homes and condominiums. In fact, the median price for the entire year was $380,000, which is the highest median price for a year we have seen since we've been tracking this data. As they have for each month this year, median prices went up again for both single-family homes and condominiums. In fact, the median price for the entire year was $380,000, which is the highest median price for a year we have seen since we've been tracking this data. The median price for condos were $352,000, was also the highest median price on record for the entire year. The lack of homes for sales are pushing prices up and up.
Okay, well, speaking of inventory, Rita, what happened in December?
The same thing that's happened for almost 5 straight years. It went down. The number of single-family homes for sale went down essentially 30% compared to December of last year. There were only 9,101 homes for sale. That is the lowest number of any December since we've been tracking this data. The number of condos for sales went down 31%. There were only 2,551 condos for sale in December. That is the fewest ever for sale in December. We need more production.
Now, years we've been saying that. But, so Rita, I just want to change gears here. I know on Tuesday you were invited to testify before the Joint Committee on Revenue at the Massachusetts State House. Can you talk to our listeners and tell us why you were invited?
Sure, Eric. I was invited because the Joint Committee wanted our thoughts on whether the new federal tax reform law would have an impact on the real estate market. While it's a little too early to know what the full impact will be, we certainly have some concerns. We join realtors across the country who are concerned with the new limits placed on mortgage interest tax deduction, and we also are concerned about the limits placed on the deductibility of real estate property taxes. We suggested some of the ways that the state government could step up to help incentivize homeownership. Our suggestions were pass the first-time homebuyer savings account, perhaps reject transfer taxes, pass mortgage debt relief, and lastly, create a state mortgage interest deduction. We don't want to see Massachusetts become a commonwealth of renters. We think this tax reform will actually lessen the incentive to live the American dream of home ownership.
Well, Rita, thank you very much for letting us know about that. Thank you. That's all the questions I have. I greatly appreciate your time, and I look forward to speaking with you next month.